Well, Salon means curse, and they were the curses that the troubadour poets hurled on the castle when the husband came home. Because they're usually favorites of the lady of the castle, and the husbands are off on crusades. And the troubadour poets had a good time at the castle, eating and hanging out until the crusader came home, and then they would just sort of unceremoniously get tossed, and they would look back at the castle and throw a curse on it. It was called the Cervantes. And there were like several forms that the troubadour poets invented. One was the Cervantes, the other was an obad, which is an obad is a poem that you wrote at dawn after making love all night. It's called obad. So the Cervantes, was usually a terrible curse. So Paul wrote some wonderful Cervantes, it says, I have put a curse on the city of Toulouse, and it cost me plenty of garlic. And now I have a cold, and I can't talk to my doze. And it's wonderful because he actually spells doze, nose, D-O-Z-E, So the first great, I think it's a great American poem in which a poet spells a word the way it sounds when you have a cold. Yeah. So, doze. A poem by Ted Barry, which goes like this: people of the future, while you are reading these poems, remember, you didn't write them. I did.
Then what is the best fruit skin to write on?
Well, I think it probably is grapes.
We do have grapes. We have grapes.
Can you pull out
We do have
Susan's
grapes. Yes.
I know you laugh, but this is actually a famous poem by Andrei. He says, when you were young, I wanted your grapes. Now that you're old, can I have your raisins? Okay, you can only write one word on a grape, I usually write peach. But you could probably write more, like those people who write like on rice. They can do an entire epic, the Mahabharata.
Yes, that is true. That's right.
So yeah, grapes are quite wonderful. I think I'll just pass this down.
Or you can arrange the grapes and make a string of grapes.
A string of grapes, yes. Yeah, this is the Bacchus method. Seminar, and I couldn't. They were always hungry, and so I said, "Well, why don't you bring some stuff to class?" And I started bringing fruit, and I thought, "Well, let's write on fruit." And then everybody said, "Well, we'd like to eat it," so they ended up eating their own words, which was wonderful. Well, I mean, come on. I know it's funny, but it's true. You don't know how many great poems were eaten by the others. Who came in later, those lovely persimmons. There is a method to this madness, and it is writing on fruit until the fruit gives out, and then we get to eat our own words. After reading them, of course, collectively.
So you have to eat everything?
Well, no, after we read
It's a
them.
lot of fruit.
After we read them, whoever ends up with the finished fruit in their hand gets to perform.
I see. So we have to write words on the fruit, not drawings?
Yes, you write whole lines.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
You write as much as you like.
Filthy banana?
This place that was just...
We used to have.
Yes.
No, he never said subconscious. He said
People used to have...
No, but there's a difference. There's no
What?
in between.
Okay. Well, the unconscious, I think of the unconscious as a large, collectively held entity, or the subconscious being just everybody's personal property of this free time, really, in which various kinds of phantomatic psychological issues travel. And I think the subconscious is being parceled out to the conscious, to the unconscious, to the media, which is a huge unconscious, which is a collectively held space. But you're right, I think that where that time comes from is from your personal reserve.
It's like your unconscious.
It's your own.
It's your kind of strong box, and that's why your dreams are your weird dreams and not anyone else's weird dreams.
Right, where your Googling took unexpected forms. He didn't have keywords. The longest poem in the world was written by Dave Maurice in Iowa City in 1973. And it was so recorded in the Guinness Book of World Records after Aram Saroyan had actually written the shortest poem ever written, which was Blood, B-L-O-D. It was recorded in the Guinness Book of World Records, I think, in 1970 or 71. And then the category was eliminated a year after because people wrote shorter poems. Commas, letters. But the longest poem was Dave Maurice, and it was over a period of 68 hours, where he wrote in a bookstore in Iowa City on a typewriter, and people read to him continually and fed him words, and he had radios, and he had televisions going, and he had this constant word nourishment, verbal protein coming his way. And he wrote this enormous haiku, actually, which was not 17 syllables, obviously, but the first line was the right number of syllables, and the middle line was a mile long.
It was what?
A mile long. It was a mile long scroll. And then there was a short line around it. It's a famous work. It's collected at the University of Iowa Library. Which you've practiced quite a few times, which is a form of bibliomancy, known as bibliomancy, where you just open a book at random and you read.
You open a book and you write what?
You open a book at random and you read.
Okay.
And it contains, of course, the answer to your question, whatever your question was.
Like a Ouija board or something?
No, much more direct and faster. The Ouija is slow. Have you ever done the Ouija board? Oh, it's just...
It can be faster.
Well, it was fast for James Merrill and his boyfriend. They wrote The Life of Sandover pretty quickly.
Yeah.
They interviewed William Carlos Williams in heaven.
Awesome.
Oh, it was a wonderful interview. And what it turned out was that there were two clubs in heaven. Two poet clubs of dead poets. One was the straight club and one was the gay club. And the straight poets who were led by William Carlos Williams were kind of boring, actually. And the gay club, which was Gertrude Stein's club, was kind of fun. And this is James Merrill's translation, of course, it's on the Ouija board, so, you know, he had somewhat of a vested interest in making the gay club fun. But it's an interesting poem. It was published in the Paris Review as an interview a Ouija board interview with dead poets. With William Carlos Williams. Has anyone seen this?
No, I have
It's
not.
a very long workshop. So what I'm going to do is just distribute this fruit as random, and you can perform it. And really do your best.
So we're going to be reading these
Yes,
fruit
you're
out
going to
loud?
stand in the middle of this proscenium and perform your fruit. The fruit given to you. And you know,
That's too many fruits.
don't let yourself be intimidated by the fact that you can't read the word.
Make it up.
Just move
Improvise.
it along. Yes, so I'll just pass this along, and I'll keep on too. And
You're supposed to pass or
Pass them along.
this must be. Is this the
Listen
different?
grades.
No, this is the practical banana.
I think if you want I think this is the filthy banana. If you want it.
Is that a filthy banana?
The musical
I can use it.
If you would like it. It's yours.
this is the musical mango.
That's a musical banana. Well, that's somebody with a beautiful
So someone should sing the mango.
voice.